What's up? Day two semen retention. My loneliness is the reason why I continuously relapse. uh, I think you can get to places where you hang around a lot of people and you be around a lot of people a lot of time. But when I talk about loneliness, I really just think I be in my room too much. It's not a thing because we all be kind of by ourselves for the most part with a lot of stuff, unless we like got a job or I mean not got a job, but like we we have to we're in like communities or just it's the certain situations where people be around a lot of people. Then it's other situations where you kind of just go to work and come back home, and it's kind of more like that, you know. That's the more of the situation I have, and it's not that like being alone is hurting me for the most part, but I think it's the isolation part where I'm like in my room by myself, that type of situation. I think that's where it is. It's not really if I'm just at home alone or if I'm just by myself when it comes to me being like in public or just me being by myself rather than me being like isolated. I think it's a difference. I think when you're in your room all day and you you're just in your room all day and it's just you. I think that's more of like an isolation, even though they synonyms. They kind of both the same thing, but I think it's places where you know you're kind of just you're out in the public and you're on your own, and like you're in the living room and you're by yourself. Uh, and I don't have my own apartment. I stay with my parents, so and but I think when I'm in my room a lot and I'm by myself in my room a lot, that's where I'm more prone to continuously relapse. That's why whenever I get up or whatever, you know, I try to go to the gym, or if I'm not working that morning or something like that, you know, I try to just not stay in my room and like lay down in my room while I'm awake. Like once I'm awake, I try to just get up all the way. And I think that's a big reason why I continuously relapse a lot of times because I'm just looking about like what are the what does the environment look like every time I relapse. And there's been times where I've just been outside or something and I just think about, or I get the temptation to, you know what I'm saying, masturbate or whatever, and I go in my room. I think a big thing is like I remember I used to think like when I went to the military, like when I was gonna go to the military, not when I went, but when I was gonna go to the military, I used to be thinking like that would be a perfect time to like be on semen retention because you're not gonna have time. You're gonna be around everybody. You sleep in the same room with everybody, so you would never get the chance to do that. So I used to be thinking that way too, because it's just like you won't be alone. When you're alone, you go and do stuff that you shouldn't be doing. When you're around everybody, you're not gonna be doing nothing like that. And I used to be thinking about stuff like that, and so I think that play a big role in uh you, you know, self pleasuring yourself and watching the websites and all that type of stuff. I'm only on day two semen retention, man. you know, hopefully I can get I can keep going. I don't relapse after 5 days again. I'm definitely going more than 5 days, man. With this streak right here, I'm gonna go as long as I can, and it's a lifestyle. But I just get so like it'll be times where like that be the day. Those be the days where I get stuck the most. Like I could go. I always relapse in between 3 to 5 days. You know, I remember when I was younger, when I went 11 days, I was in high school when I went 11 days. So I feel like the social aspect of, you know what I'm saying? Because in school, it's not like work. In school, you kind of socialize more than you really even do schoolwork or whatever. And so I think that helped me a lot being around people. That kind of got me away from like not just you know, being in my own world with it, even though it was still a bad addiction at the time too, but there's been times where I was going on the longer streaks on average, and then it was times where it was hard. It was even hard for me to go 3 days, and so that just play a big role, man. When you kind of isolate yourself and you stay in your room all day, that's gonna aid to you relapsing after relapse after relapse after relapse. The streaks where I be going on the longer streaks, I kind of be outside more. I don't be in my room all day, you know. And I think like now, like days on the weekend and stuff, those days you don't need to sleep in on those days. Most people they kind of get they try to get more rest on those days. Where really with me, what I have to do, like to avoid relapse, I get out of bed like I don't lay down until it's nighttime again, until it's time for me to go to sleep again. I don't try to sleep. I don't try to just lay down in my bed and sit down and just try to watch TV and stuff. If I watch TV, I go in the living room and I sit down. I don't I sit on the it's a table like in the kitchen or whatever, and I just sit in there to be on my phone and watch TV from there. Sometimes I try not to like lay down and stuff because you get comfortable and then the temptation come and then you kind of just be in that mindset again, you know. So on the weekends, I try to go, out and do stuff. I'm supposed to go and do something this weekend, but you know, I don't know if I'm going. I don't know if I'm going, but I might not. Even though I don't go somewhere, you know what I'm saying? It's like because it's a lot of stuff I got planned as far as like going out more. And I got more videos talking about certain stuff I'm gonna do. Please don't tell me my phone finna go there.